What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Friday, February 12th, 2021. My name is Pat Stuthers, your host and commentator, and we're here for another episode of the Casual Fan Podcast, the hardest working, most accurate, most entertaining NHL sports gambling podcast on YouTube. In this video, we're going to talk about the results from the last couple of days. We're going to talk about the things I told you that I got right, talk about the electric moments, the devastating moments, what we learned, and then get right into the stay away games, followed by the predictions. So if you're just here for the gambling predictions, you can skip right to the end of this video. Also, if you're watching, from now on, I'm going to be posting all of my hockey content on the Fan the Casual Instagram page and Twitter. So if you like any of this content, make sure to follow Fan the Casual on Instagram and Twitter. Before we get started, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to keep bringing you videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the hardest working NHL gambling podcast on YouTube. Make sure you don't miss anything. All right, so let's get right into results for the last couple of days. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I had a rough 2 days. 4 days ago, I went 10-3. The last 2 days, I went 3-9. So still technically a winning record, but not so great. Yesterday, a lot of the dogs that I thought would win did not win. A lot of the dogs I thought would get blown out ended up winning their games. That's the way she goes. That said, I actually had a pretty good night on Thursday. Those of you that follow me on social media saw that I took the Bruins and the Leafs that hit for me. I also took the under in both of those games. I also took that in a 14 parlay. So I had a pretty good night, probably the biggest night of my life. But it's tough to celebrate that because I didn't give those picks to you guys, so it's kind of scummy. Thursday night was very tough to watch. I saw a lot of games that I thought were locks become not locks very quickly. The Tampa Bay Lightning did not win. The Anaheim Ducks beat the Vegas Golden Knights. And the Detroit Red Wings, despite being so close, did not upset the Nashville Predators. That's the way she goes. Get back on the horse. You're only a degenerate if you lose. Overall, my record's now at 117-80, which drops it down to about 59%, which is still a winning record. Let's get into Atodaso, all the things that I told you that I got right. I just want to go back to the beginning of the season in the first couple of videos when I was talking about the Montreal Canadiens and the Vancouver Canucks. Two of the things I said is that the Vancouver Canucks were going to fall back down to earth and that the Montreal Canadiens are better than people thought, but that they're not that good. And I think both of those things are starting to become apparent. The Canadiens had a great start. They looked phenomenal, but lately they've been kind of squeaking by games, and they took back-to-back losses against the Leafs and the Oilers. I took the Montreal Canadiens in both games thinking they would at least split. The other choice I would have made is taking both the Leafs and the Oilers to beat them. Unfortunately, they didn't split at all, so it didn't go my way. And when I watched the Canucks, they look like such a talented team, but I think they're just maybe young. I mean, they do have some veterans on the team, but I think losing Markstrom honestly really hurt them, and watching them play against Markstrom, you kind of see the respect they have for him as a goaltender. I do think they miss the veteran presence of guys like Chris Tanev and Jacob Markstrom. All right, so let's get into some of the most electric moments from the past couple of days. The very first electric moment I want to talk about was in the Bruins and the Rangers game when Jake DeBrusk pings one off the crossbar and the puck's flipping like it almost crosses the line and bounces like this, and they have to review it for about 10 minutes before they decide it's not a goal. So that didn't count. Then the Rangers go up on a crazy, what looked like a high stick, but it didn't get blown down because the puck was high sticked and then touched a Bruins player, and then someone else banged it in, so it counted. But it was crazy. And then it's a tie game with minutes left, and Tuukka Rask just starts leaving the net for no reason. He thought they were down a goal after the whole Rooney fiasco. So the bench is screaming at him to get back in his net, and he has no idea what's going on. Luckily, they don't get scored on. Game goes to overtime. Brad Marchand gets the winner, gets me the W. What an exciting game to watch. Next electric moment, Casey Cizikas for the New York Islanders pulled off an incredible, hard-working goal. He tracked down the puck, sort of chipped it to himself, fought off the defender, and then snuck it past the goalie somehow while under pressure. Beautiful goal. Later in that game, he is shown up by Matt Barzal, who scored arguably the goal of the year. He just powered down the wing and completely dangled the defender and just sniped it top corner. It looked like something Nathan McKinnon or Connor McDavid would do, except McKinnon's like 250 pounds, but it was elite level skill. Funnily enough, Oilers could have had Matthew Barzal. They traded Griffin Reinhart for the pick, and Reinhart cleared waivers after being selected by the Golden Knights. Next electric moment, the Blue Jackets rally. I know I picked the Hawks in my official picks, but I did end up putting money on the Blue Jackets, and I'm watching the game. They're down 4-2. Jack Roslovic scores his second of the game to pull it within one. Then they tie. Then DeBrincat scores to put the Hawks up by one. 3 minutes left, Cam Atkinson comes down, wires a shot, pings off the crossbar. I'm devastated because that could have been the tying goal. Lands on the stick of Michael Del Zotto, who rips it home. I get the tie. Minute and a half later, Kevin Stenlund ends it for the Blue Jackets. He won it. What a game. And the last electric moment, Marc-Andre Fleury pulling off some magic for the Golden Knights. They lost 1-0 to the Anaheim Ducks, but it easily could have been 3-0. So what did we learn over the past couple of days? Well, you're gonna have good nights, you're gonna have bad nights. You also have a third option, which is mediocre nights. Sometimes you can't count on all the favorites or all the underdogs to win, and it's just the wrong mix of teams for you. And that's basically what happened to me last night. But law of averages, eventually we're gonna bounce back. Another thing we learned, wait until game time, obviously, to make your bets. I put some money down on the Bolts without knowing Steven Stamkos would be out. He was declared out of the game later that day. I still would have hammered the Lightning. There's no chance I would not have picked the Lightning, but it's still something I should have been aware of. The last thing we learned, the Boston Bruins absolutely love overtime. Since 2017, over the past 3 seasons, they are a league first 35 overtime losses. That's basically almost 12 points per season in just overtime losses. They're surprisingly tied with the Anaheim Ducks. I think the Bruins strategy of get it to overtime, put Brad Marchand, Patrice Bergeron, Charlie McAvoy on the ice has worked out for them very well. All right, so with all that out of the way, let's get to our stay away games for this weekend. There's actually some very difficult decisions with these stay away games, so what I'm gonna do is go through each matchup and tell you why I might stay away, or why I might play it. Starting with Friday night, you got the Bruins and the Rangers. The Bruins have been hot. The Rangers have also been very good, and it might be Igor Shesterkin in net for the Rangers this time. And it was a very close game. It could have gone either way last game. I could see the Rangers taking this one. However, I'm gonna keep rolling with the Bruins because they're one of the best teams in the league. With the Blues and the Coyotes, the Blues won the first game of the series. The Coyotes won the next 3 straight. This will be their 5th time meeting, and they play again tomorrow. I gotta say the Blues take this one. They really should have won the last game, and they didn't, and I think they're gonna win this one. On Saturday, you got the Sens and the Jets, that's a keeper. You have the Bruins and the Islanders, which I'm gonna hang on to for now. The Lightning and the Panthers I wanna play, but right now Stamkos and Kucherov are out, and I think Matthew Joseph. The Panthers looked pretty good against the Lightning last game, so I might stay away in this one. The Canadiens and Maple Leafs is a fun one. I think the Leafs are actually the better team. I think they're the best team in the division. The Canadiens have been struggling a little bit too. The problem is the Leafs have been riding so high right now, it's a matter of time before they drop one. And the Canadiens are still a good test. They might bounce back from that last outing. All right, in the second game of the Blues and Coyotes game, if the Coyotes win on Friday, please give me the Blues. There's no way they lose 5 straight. But if the Blues win on Friday night, I'm not touching the Saturday game. Next game is the Blue Jackets and the Hawks. I gotta go with the over in this one. The last game went over. These teams are scoring. Patrick Kane is on fire. Even the defense on these teams are the offense. They're both playing desperate hockey. Red Wings and Predators game 2. The Red Wings really almost could have won that first game against the Predators, but they didn't. The Predators look pretty bad against the Lightning. They got outscored really badly. I think the Red Wings could steal one, but without Bertuzzi, I'm not confident in their ability to actually score and finish games. Canes and Stars, very close game. The Carolina Hurricanes are playing great hockey. They're very tight checking. They're very hard to score on. James Reimer is actually playing really well. The Dallas Stars have sputtered a little bit through no fault of their own. I think they're just coming up against tough teams. I would stay away from this one or lean towards the Canes. Flames and Canucks, I think the Flames might just have the Canucks number. They have Markstrom in net. I think he's in the heads of the Vancouver shooters. I think Vancouver's really been struggling. I think they're a young team who will get easily rattled by struggles like this, and they need to work through it before I can start betting on them again. Now, for the Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks, I personally am a little bit emotionally scarred by the fact that the Vegas Golden Knights dropped a game to the Anaheim Ducks 1-0 after Fleury stood on his head. I'm willing to think that they would bounce back and beat the Sharks pretty good in this game. The Sharks just lost to the lowly Kings, so the Golden Knights should be a different tier of team and win this game. And then on Sunday, you have a couple teams who have had postponed games due to COVID, so I'm gonna go with the Capitals and the Avalanche, who are nice and rested up, and their elite teams. I like the over in both of their games as well on Sunday. All right, so let's get to our predictions for the weekend, starting with Friday night. The Boston Bruins at the New York Rangers. Both of these teams are rolling. If Shesterkin is in net, I really like the under in this game. I probably like the Bruins in almost every game, but I could see the Rangers stealing this one. I think my prediction, the most likely thing to happen is that the Bruins win this game in overtime. They love overtime. And the only other game tonight, the Blues at the Coyotes. The Blues won the very first game. The Coyotes won the next 3 straight. They upset the Blues in the last one. Will the Blues win again tonight? I think so. I think they probably will. However, there's some very scary stats to go with this game. Blues are 6-1 in their last 7 as a road favorite, and 4-1 in their last 5 road games straight up. They're 10-3 in their last 13 in Arizona, and they're 20-27 in the third game of a 3-4 situation. However, the underdog is 6-2 in the last 8 meetings. Blues are 0-4 in the last 4 Friday games, 3-9 in the last 12 meetings. And I think they're starting to get exposed as not being as good as they were last year, 2 years ago. I gotta think the Blues win this one. I don't think they lose 4 straight, but I've been wrong before. Senators and Jets, I did not expect the shellacking that the Jets gave to the Senators the other night. I really thought that the Senators would keep it close. The thing with this team is it is close until it's not. I think when they smell blood, when it's a tight game, the Senators feel they can win. They start to believe. They got Matt Murray in net, who's playing pretty well. They got guys who can score. They believe. When they go down a couple goals, they're young, they're inexperienced, they get down on themselves really quickly. The way to beat the Ottawa Senators is quick leads early. It took the Jets a little bit, but once they got scoring, they didn't look back. I'm going to take them in this game again. I think the Jets really need these wins over the Senators. Bruins and Islanders. You got the Bruins on a back-to-back, so in that sense, I could like the Islanders. But again, it's tough to ever bet against the Bruins because they take games to overtime, they keep it close. They're a dangerous team. Varlamov has been great. Rask has been great. I really like the under in this game. They're going to give you bad odds at 5.5 just to deter you, but I think it's going under. My pick, once again, would be Bruins and OT. And for the second game of the Blues versus the Coyotes, the 6th game in 10 days, if the Coyotes win on Friday, I don't know what to think. Maybe they just beat the Blues every single time. If the Blues win, I'm staying away from this second game. If the Coyotes win, I don't know what to believe anymore. Okay, up next you got the Blue Jackets versus the Chicago Blackhawks. The last game was electric. It went over. I think this game's gonna go over again. Over is 7-1 in the Hawks' last 8 as a home favorite. It's 5-1 in the Hawks' last 6 after scoring 5 or more in the previous games. It's 8-2 in the Hawks' last 10 as a favorite. 7-3 in the Hawks' last 10 Saturday games. 4-1 in the Jackets' last 5 overall. And 3-1-1 in the Jackets' last 5 Saturday games. These teams score. Even their defense is offense. Patrick Kane is on fire. Give me the over in this one. I am choosing officially the Flames in this game. On Sunday, I'm gonna take the quarantine parlay, rest day, Valentine's Day parlay, Washington Capitals, Colorado Avalanche. I love it. All right, so with all that out of the way, let's get to my official picks for the weekend. Who I think is going to win, who I think is going to lose Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. On Friday night, I'm going to take the Boston Bruins and the St. Louis Blues. On Saturday night, I'm going to be taking Jets, Knights, Bruins, Lightning, Leafs, Blues, Hawks, Preds, Stars, Flames. And then on Sunday, I want the Capitals and the Avalanche. That's it. That's who I think is going to win. There's probably a couple winning parlays in here. You be the judge. All right, so my official bets, beginning with Friday night. I'm going to play both of these games very wisely. I don't necessarily expect to win, but this is my strategy for Friday night. If you have 10 units, I would put 2 units on the Bruins by 1 goal because I think they're going to win in overtime. That's at plus 290 odds. I would put 2 units on a St. Louis Blues regulation win at plus 120 odds. I would put 5 units on the Bruins and the Blues, and then I'd put 1 unit on the Bruins, the Blues, and the under in both games. Now on Saturday, my official picks are Jets win, Bruins Islanders under, Blue Jackets Hawks over, and the Calgary Flames. And on Sunday, Caps Avalanche quarantine Valentine's parlay. So that's it for me. That's everything I think. That's all the stuff that happened at the beginning of the week. We were extremely hot. Towards the end of the week, we cooled off a little bit, but that's all right. We're going to bounce back this weekend. If you like this podcast, please tell all your friends. Please like and subscribe. Please leave comments. Let me know what you like and hate and what bets you win on. We're going to keep doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The hardest working, most accurate, most entertaining NHL sports gambling podcast on YouTube. My name's Pat Stuthers. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you on Monday. Good luck. Cheers. Let's do it. Let's go.